On May 25th,
Riot released a new champion called Ekko, the boy who shattered time. Ekko was stated to be a prodigy from the rough streets of Zaun. He is able to manipulate time using his own invention, the Zero Drive, and is able to accomplish the impossible with ease, time and time again. Under Ekko's allies in his page in the League of Legends wiki, you can see Jinx and Vi. Jinx was introduced as a criminal that is messed up in the head, as she is living to wreak havoc, talks to her guns, can't think, and states that she is crazy, along many other things proving that she is insane. Vi, on the other hand, was introduced as a child growing up in the lawless outskirts of Piltover. She learned to rob and cheat to get by. Stealing and stripping Hextech hardware gave her the skills of a master mechanic. While life on the streets taught her self-reliance, when she was 6, a ragtop of criminals brought her into their fold. This group of criminals is what I'll be talking about. You see, the shopkeeper, Light, in the Howling Abyss, tells Vi whenever she visits him the following.
You look like your sister. Wait, I'm not supposed to talk about that.
and Jinx has this quote whenever she moves.
You think I'm crazy? You should see my sister.
Now I know what you're thinking, but no, I won't say that they're siblings. At least not blood related. In gangs, when people know each other for so long and they grow up and live together, some of them might really start to consider each other siblings, or the classic we're all one family, which is told by many gang leaders, so most of them would consider each other brothers or sisters. This theory starts here. Vi, Jinx, and Ekko all belong to the same gang. Vi was the first one to be taken in by the gang, as the 6th member. The gang used numbers to identify their members. They gave her number 6, which is Vi in Latin. After a few years passed, Vi let go of her old name and old self, and started to identify herself as Vi. Or she didn't even have an old name to start with, since names aren't really needed to survive on the streets. By the time Vi was 11, she had become a seasoned accomplice, and she relished the thrill of every heist. And that's where another girl came in. This girl's part is a little bit complicated. The gang took her in as the 10th member, so they gave her the name X. X accepted her name and her part as a member of the gang. X immediately felt like she was at home. She felt like the gang was her family. X was a well-behaved girl, and she didn't enjoy fighting. She was thinking about saving enough money until she had enough to get a home and retire from her crimes. Some time later, Ekko and Ajuna were taken in by the gang and given numbers, just like any other member. Ajuna's number was 11, or XI, and Ekko's number was 12, or XII. Ekko and Ajuna had an original name, and it was up to them whether or not they wanted to change their names. But they decided to keep their original names anyway. Ekko admired Vi, and was romantically interested in X. Vi's attitude changed when a raid on a mining facility went bad. She was forced to decide between fleeing with her crew or trying to save the innocent mine workers from a collapsed tunnel. Vi chose to play the hero. While searching for a way to free the mine workers from the rubble, she discovered a damaged robotic mining rig. Improvising, she wrenched off its huge fists and modified them into makeshift Hextech gauntlets. Fitting the heavy weapons into her tiny hands, the young girl flicked her arm and threw a powered punch at the rubble. The force of the blow blasted away the rock, with the workers free to escape. Vi fled the scene. After that job gone wrong, she returned to a life of solitary crime, but stole only from other criminals. This caused the gang to start doubting each other, as a very trusted member of them had just left. As years passed and members of the gang started to leave and decide on their own path using the Hextech technologies that they stole from Piltover, X wasn't a prodigy like Ekko was, so she got herself some guns, much to earn Ekko's comment,
Guns! Original.
Ekko, on the other hand, was developing something far more complicated. He was developing a time-traveling device, the Zero Drive. The reason Ekko decided to research time traveling is because he saw all of the gang members' names on a clock. As the gang fell apart, X was devastated. Her family, the only thing she had, was broken apart. When she thought back to the original reason the gang broke apart, it all came down to Vi leaving them. That was the start of it. Feeling depression, X developed a dissociative identity disorder, also known as a split personality. It is a mental process which produces a lack of connection in a person's thoughts, memories, feelings, actions, or sense of identity. Dissociative identity disorder is characterized by the presence of two or more distinct split identities, or personality states that continually have power over the person's behavior. X developed a polar opposite of her own personality, an insane psychopath whose only purpose is to wreak havoc and have fun. X's original personality now stays as her guns, Fishbones, which she started talking to.
Hey, Fishbones! Should we blow something up?
You might inconvenience people and hurt their feelings.
You're the worst weapon ever! Fishbones, you know what we ought to do?
Do the laundry, wash dishes, and pay some bills.
Stupid dumb rocket launcher. Hey, Fishbones, think we can wreak havoc forever?
No, you should buy a home and save for retirement.
You know I can replace you, right? Maybe we should settle down and live peaceful lives.
Really? I always hoped one day you'd...
Nope, you're a death machine for life.
She also changed her look and began wearing her current clothes. After X heard that Vi had been taken in by Caitlyn as a Piltover enforcer, she left the gang immediately and headed to Piltover so she can have her revenge, while having fun, of course. Because her arrival always brought trouble with it, those who crossed her path soon gave her a name, Jinx. She also remembered one of the things that Vi used to say when they were in the same gang, and made fun of them, such as,
Vi stands for violence.
Jinx? Stands for Jinx. Durr.
Ekko was stunned at the sudden change in X's personality, and the way she started talking to her guns.
I had a crush until you started talking to the gun.
But Ekko was a lot more loyal to the gang and his homeland, Zon. The people on the wall are basically the ones that are not there anymore for whatever reason, which includes Jinx and Vi, and later Arjuna, the only member that was left with Ekko at the time. Ekko stated that he would not let Arjuna become another face on the wall, but he failed to save his friend's life. And even though Arjuna passed away leaving Ekko all alone in the gang, he still considers all of them his allies. Vi didn't recognize Jinx when she came over to Piltover because she had no memory of such a girl. Her personality and looks were nothing like the X she remembered from the gang, so she couldn't tell. Jinx still left and X was here occasionally, but it didn't really get a response, yet. When meeting Vi again, Ekko would taunt her with,
Hey, sellout! You forgot your roots, Vi. You used to be cool. You'll always be Zon to me. One day, you'll come back to Zon.
as he still admired her. Jinx, on the other hand, would taunt Vi with,
Vi stands for stupid. You gonna chase me, fat hands? I'm over here, fat hands!
as she makes fun of Vi's weapons, which Vi developed after leaving the gang. This concludes my theory on the three, but since the lore is pretty much dead, we won't know until Riot gives us some official information. Tell me what you think in the comments below.
Bye bye!